Our next speaker is Juan Pablo Cangas, a digital advertising expert and business coach from Chile. As an entrepreneur, agency employee, consultant, and coach for around 15 years, he has worked in multiple markets with corporations, startups, local businesses, and also new and aspiring entrepreneurs. Juan Pablo's specialty is in providing results-focused digital marketing for his clients, primarily lead generation using Google Ads and other paid media platforms as his main weapon. His works has awarded him twice as top-rated freelancer status at Upwork, the premier online talent solutions and platform. For entrepreneurs, we are excited to have as our next speaker, Juan Pablo Cangas. Hello, Juan.
Hey Ruben, how are you?
Good. Where are you right now, Juan?
Right now in my home country, Chile. I
Wow.
wish I was traveling, but I can't.
So, is also COVID-19 quarantine implemented in your country?
Yeah, yeah, we have, like, I don't live in the capital, in
Mhm.
Santiago, but I'm near. I'm like 1 hour from the capital. And in Santiago, we have some places are closed down with quarantine, but not every place. It's been done by sectors.
So in your
And
area,
right now, yeah,
it's still okay. The local businesses are still open.
um, it depends. It depends on the location.
So, how is your business? How does your business coping up with COVID-19? Are you affected by it?
Um, yeah, actually, I was affected pretty heavily.
Mm-hmm.
Um, One of my clients is actually my dad,
Mm-hmm.
and he has been actually one of my most successful clients. And right now, his business is closed, both because of the quarantine and I mean, his office is closed because he can go to the office,
Mm-hmm.
and also the courts
Yeah,
are
it's closed.
closed.
Yeah.
So, uh, and I had similar situation with other clients. Like I have a client in Australia who had who she's an agency, but I like she outsources work to me, and her client is a chain of retail stores.
Mm-hmm.
So those were affected too. And I have other clients here in Chile that they work with. They rent um, toys for children and for birthdays and things, events, and none of that is being done right now. So those clients are just waiting for this to pass. So it's been pretty heavy, the effects on my business particularly as well.
Mm-hmm. In your opinion, as an expert digital advertising consultant, how is COVID-19 affecting the way we do business?
Um, I think in many ways it's accelerating changes that were already taking place, like working remotely. Now that's the only thing, that's the only option for many businesses. And that's a shift that was happening, but at a much slower pace. And now most companies have been forced to either adapt or close temporarily, and in some cases permanently because of this. Uh, so I would say that's the main thing. It's been accelerating changes in the way business is being done.
Now, we have a lot of business owners who are into brick and mortar businesses, and they're really affected by the regulations implemented with COVID-19 pandemic. In your own
Yeah.
opinion, what are your suggested plan of actions for them to at least survive and strive this pandemic?
For local businesses,
Yes, local businesses.
uh, well, that's really difficult for it's really difficult for most local businesses because they can, in many cases, they can't attend customers in person, or they have to put restrictions on like how many people can be at the store at the same time. So I don't know if I could make recommendations on that, but um, from a marketing perspective or from a digital marketing or advertising
Both.
perspective, I would say if your business is still running and is still capable of you know attending customers, I would say don't neglect your advertising.
Sure.
I mean, many businesses, not just local businesses, but in general, they make the mistake of not advertising or drastically reducing their ad budgets in difficult times like this. And I would say that in most cases that's not the best idea. Um,
Can you expand on that? Why it's really important to have their marketing and advertising running this time?
yeah, it's it has been said that in in normal times, I try to remember the exact words, but this is like a popular adage.
Mhm.
Like in normal times, you should advertise, and in hard times, you must advertise.
Wow. Okay.
And I was reading that yesterday, I think, and I really reflected on that. And then I started. I like to back the things I say with concrete things. So I started thinking, well, is that the case in general? I want to look at the data, and I started doing some research, and I found that there have studies been done, like I don't know, I think Harvard University or something. They made a study on the effect on businesses of not advertising during a recession, and it was pretty negative for the business that stopped advertising. So it's not just an opinion.
It's a fact.
It's research has been done
Mhm.
and proven that that's not a good idea to cut your ad spend in difficult times. And that makes sense to me. I thought of that intuitively
Mhm.
because I thought, well, if if you stop advertising, nobody's going to come to your business. They will just forget about it unless they are like long-term clients, customers, you know. But even those, they may have different priorities at this time.
Mhm.
So if you stop reaching out to them, if you stop advertising, they will just either do business with a different company that
Mhm.
is advertising, or just don't do whatever they when they won't buy whatever you are selling,
Mhm.
you know. So if you don't make offers, how can people give you money?
Mhm. This is what I often hear from local businesses when they are told about paid ads. paid ads is expensive. How would you react to that?
You mean that people say that?
Yes.
People,
Uh, when you offer the service to local
yeah,
businesses, this is more or less their reaction. It's expensive. How would
well,
you respond to that?
it could be. It could be. It depends really if it's expensive or not. It depends on how you do it. But I think it's not too much about whether if it's expensive or if it's not. It's more about does it work, you know. Uh, but I think compared to other alternatives, it's not that expensive. I mean, if you're comparing it to I don't know, radio ads or TV ads or billboards or maybe even newspaper advertising,
Mhm.
in comparison to that, it's not that expensive, and and it can be much more effective, especially for a local business or a small business.
Wow. Okay. So, example, uh, Juan Pablo, I want to explore um, digital advertising. What should I do? What's the first step?
Um, the first step would be getting really clear on your goals. Like before you start a campaign or before you hire someone to run a campaign for you, figure out what you want to achieve. Like, do you want to grow your revenue by a certain amount? In what time frame? How soon do you expect that result? You know,
And as soon as
I will start thinking about those things
mm,
first.
is it important for them to also learn digital advertising basics for them before going into it?
Um, it depends. It depends on your business.
Mm.
Um, you know, some clients they don't want to know, they don't want to deal with that stuff.
That's true.
You know, they just want to get it done.
Mhm.
Um, so there's not an answer for everyone. I mean, if it could be a good idea to learn like the very basics,
Mhm.
just so when you go talk to a consultant or an agency, uh, they don't, you know, sell you something that you don't really need. So it could be a good idea to at least understand, get an understanding of what we're talking about.
Mhm.
But beyond that, if you want to learn like more specific things, it's up to you. I mean, it's that something that you want to eventually be doing for yourself, because that's another decision that many businesses have to make. Is digital advertising going to be part of your business? Is it going to be what's called a core competency or a competitive advantage for your business? If that's the case, then maybe you should really learn it. And, and you can even build a team, a digital marketing or digital advertising department within your company. And maybe you just need outside help to figure out the details, you know, and maybe coach your staff or things like that, train your people, but you can build that capability within your business. That's an option. But another option would be to just outsource all that stuff, you know. So it really depends on your goals, and maybe even if you like it, you know.
I think one of the things also, example, if I'm asked where to find people to do something, I always look for recommendations, especially if you're
Mhm.
looking for freelancer who can do ads. I always look at Upwork and look at the recommendations. So
Yeah,
maybe the best thing also is to hire experts already, proven experts by reference and reviews. Example, like you. I think they can save a lot of time learning these things and focus on getting returns.
yeah, yeah. I think, well, this is not about just me. There are many experts out there, many good experts that you can hire. But I think you need to find the right fit. Uh, each one has different skill set.
Mhm,
There are experts in different markets.
mhm,
Like, I think it would be ideal, for example, if you're, let's say, a lawyer,
mhm,
if you can find an expert that does exactly what you want in that market, that's much better than hiring a general expert, you
sure.
know. And yeah, check the reviews, check the reputation and all that. But eventually, you need to make a choice. So you need to, you know, talk with different experts and see which one you feel good working with. Because if you could be stuck in a good way, if the campaign works, you could be stuck with this person or this company for a long time. So try to make sure, I would try to make sure that you like working with these people,
Mhm,
and that they give you a good result.
mhm. Now, Juan Pablo, we have lots of listeners also who are business owners stuck in their homes because they can't do anything. Their stores are closed. What do you think are the things that they should do for them to be productive this time?
Um, I think it's a good time to learn, to um, focus on either improving your current capabilities or learning new capabilities that could be helpful in a situation like this. And it's a good time to rethink your business. If you need to make adjustments, maybe you need to be prepared for the next time, because we could have another situation like this in the future. Maybe not the virus, maybe a different thing, maybe a recession for other reasons, or we could even have another virus. We don't know. So I think this is a good time to prepare for the future. So next time it doesn't affect you as much. So I would say those two things: focus on learning and focus on being prepared for the next time.
These are really insightful ideas, Juan Pablo, and I hope the priceless tips and actionable strategies you've shared to us today will help all our listeners to go through these challenging times. Any last words to all our the local and small business owners listening to us right now?
Um, I would say these are difficult times, and sometimes it's hard to keep up the motivation. But I would say keep in touch with your inner spark. You know what made you become an entrepreneur, and why are you doing this. That will help you push through, and also remember that this is a temporary thing. this this will at some point in time everything will hopefully return to normal. So don't 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 lose hope. I would say don't lose hope. This will pass, and it's a matter of adjusting and learning and keep doing what you do best. And if you need to make changes, make those changes, and don't delay. Right? Don't get stuck in saying this is terrible and watch the news all the time. No, that's not. I don't think that's a good idea. Uh, Stay focused, and you will do well.
Thank you very much, Juan Pablo.
Thank you, Red.
Everyone, virtualpreneurs, live the great life.